Hello guys and welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing very well. My name is Marty and today we're watching episode 4 of season 2 of Severance. If you guys would love to see my full uncut reaction to this episode or any of the other episodes that I've seen of Severance, you can do over on the Patreon page or as a YouTube member as well. One of the things I meant to say in the previous video, by the way, is I'm wondering what on earth Cold Harbor is, because we had it mentioned a couple of episodes back and then it was mentioned again in the last episode very briefly by Ms. Cabell. So are we gonna see that? Sounds like it's the name of some secret project, like almost like an alias for something else. By the way, if you're new here, yes, I am wearing my lanyard, my Lumon lanyard. Let's watch Severance. What? Where is it? Is this Cold Harbor? What? What's
happening? Where are we?
I have no fucking idea. There's a path up the cliff.
Well, they also appeared with the coats as well, so...
I'm on the ice! I'm on the fucking ice!
Get on your stomach and crawl. I just love being thrown into the unknown that we don't have a clue. Hey, maybe this is all a dream.
Irving!
Hey!
What are we doing out here? Mark!
Did you wake up on the ice too?
Yeah.
Ah! Oh my god!
Dylan.
Is it you?
Of course it's us!
Holy shit! Outside!
Oh yeah, this is the first time they've seen it. Or first time he's seen it, yeah, because he's not being an outie, has he? Music. TV.
What is that?
It's a TV on a cliff. Wait, it kind of reminds me of the place where Kier stood looking out over the, you know, on the painting. How is it operated? Yeah, there's the painting on the menu screen.
Good morning, refiners. This is Mr. Milchick from work. Outdoor retreat and team building occurrence. This port bow is in response to your desire to see the outside world.
So it's fake.
You will spend the next 2 calendar days walking the Dichen National Forest.
Who the f*** is Dichen?
Dichen? The truth you seek lies within the 4th appendix, a text of such sanctity that it is forbidden upon the severed floor. It's waiting for you.
This is very creepy.
In Scissor Cave, the very same grotto where Kier Egan tamed the 4 tempers for the very first time. Stray not from Kier's path, lest you roil nature's wrath.
Oh, great writing.
There will be help along the way. Happy fortunes, MDR.
That's so surreal and weird. Is this real and really outside or not? Because how would the TV operate? And it sounded like he heard what he was saying.
What the f*** is that?
Is that Mark?
Looks like Mark.
Oh, that is creepy.
Milchick said there'd be help along the way.
I wouldn't trust a word out of that mountebank's mouth, not even televisually.
Yeah, I don't think I trust the eerie... Oh, the slow turn of the head.
Not like we have a lot of other options right now, Irv.
Okay, I love this episode so far with the... We're not even getting this title sequence. Yeah, I said about this being fake because I wondered if this was almost like a holographic world. Also, this episode feels very oddly Twilight Zone. And we've got another heli. See, people say about horror, that is more horror than any kind of weird jump scares or anything like that to me. The sun's settling.
Wait.
No one's going to mention that the book would be mouldy as heck if it was in all that moisture.
I was not born into this world alone. The lodgings of my mother's womb I shared with another, a twin brother who was called Dieter.
Kier had a twin.
That's what those things are.
My love for my twin unbalancing my judgment.
Indianalty.
I acceded, and we ventured into the wood, towards
Woes.
Hollow.
We're even getting a map and everything.
We're to walk in the brother's footsteps. He always crept like this, once concealed by flora.
The din of his fervor fell strangely into concert with the music of the wood.
And nature played Dieter with elegance. I had no choice but to listen as he spilt his lineage upon the soil.
What did that mean? That was a very weird line. Oh, it's so unsettling because they're in there.
Now there's a mean one.
Yeah. But it's not like him. It's like a weird version of him. Like a PS2 looking version of him. Maybe a digital representation of him uploaded.
You okay?
Just wish I knew where we were going.
Oh, lovely transition.
What were you and Helly talking about back there?
Beautiful.
I don't trust her. I think she might be lying about what or how he saw.
Why would you think that?
Due to your feelings for her.
My feelings for her have nothing to do with anything, okay?
Is that something dead? What is that?
What is it?
Exactly my thought.
Looks like a seal?
Turns out it's actually one of their duplicates.
Maybe this is what dead things look like.
Yeah, because they won't know. Yeah.
We don't know if there's food waiting at the hollow. We don't even know where we are.
Can't let anything happen to us. It's an Ortbo.
We don't know what this is.
Did you say you want to eat it?
We all know you had a bad experience last time you were outside.
Who said I had a bad experience? What did you tell him?
Nothing.
Let's just get to the hollow.
Look on top of there. It's all of them standing together. Oh, so creepy.
Kier's twin was always with him. That's why we provided the very same for each of you.
Thank you all. I was right.
This is the tallest waterfall on the planet. You have followed the path of Kier and Dieter and reached Woes Hollow. You stand upon sacred earth.
We're starving, Mr. Milchek.
Are you?
Or is it what your brain thinks?
I thought the waterfall's grandeur would satiate you. I'm teasing, of course.
Thanks.
Lumon will always protect and provide.
We can have a full-course meal. Oh, they look creepy as hell. It was like the horror versions of them going... Oh, I like the colour of the tents.
Miss Wong has been readying the grill. The fire will be used for marshmallows and a recital. The tents, as you can see, are MDR blue.
Ah, it's empty armor.
Wow.
Wow, indeed, Heliar.
It's a lovely change to the office.
Torches, which can provide both a heat and a light source.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, because they've never seen fire. I forget that this is the first time I've seen any of this. They have a minimal knowledge of things, don't they? But they've just not experienced these things for themselves.
Made you a snow seal,
Oh, look at that.
in case you were hungry.
I feel silly for suggesting we eat that animal.
It was fine. We were all a little.
Out of it.
What did you really see during the overtime contingency?
Wondered if he would say this.
I told you.
You told a lie.
It won't change anything.
It will.
Irving.
I love a good mystery. Playing the theremin. She's playing the theremin.
Dieter lay unwashed in his bedroom while the Hollow's pool was primed for bathing. The thought tickling my mouth emerged. Promised to look after you in the ether mill. A sound came from him. It was a bewailing whimper. He believed that we'd be woodland poppers forever. I was looking at him when his eye came out. It popped from the socket, driven by a sudden torrent of pus from his skull.
Oh, lovely.
And He reached up to grasp at his hair, which was suddenly moss that tore easily from his bleeding scalp.
What the flip?
And walked to the pool of the hollow, where I knew the waterfall would drown out my brother's cries.
Like that thing on the floor as well.
I first encountered the temper woe, a gaunt bride, half the height of a natural woman.
What? Okay. The music. Oh.
She spoke to me directly from her eyes. This is your doing. You suffered his wantonness. Now he's no one's brother, only chaos's horror. The end. Perhaps in the morning we'll have time for the next chapter. Kier and the thieving nanny.
Sounds lovely.
Did his brother really die that way?
The handbook enriches our work with tales of the founder's life. Every word is truth. Helly.
You expect us to believe all of that stuff?
He melted, right? He turned into the forest because he masturbated.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know when they said he spilt his ancestry or whatever it was? That's what I was thinking that they were on about.
Got punished for it.
What kids?
You know we often laugh at what we don't understand.
Or at silly things.
The team I thought I knew would have processed more thoughtfully. Miss Wong, the marshmallows, please.
My question is also, it's nighttime. Are they not supposed to have gone back? Or, switched?
Throw them in the fire.
Mr.
They
Milchick.
don't get to eat them.
Why?
Marshmallows are for team players, Dylan. They don't just hand them out. Good night.
Why so sinister? Oh, this is so good. Weird.
What do you think is turned into?
All because of them, though. They don't get the
It isn't funny.
Okay.
And stop making goo-goo eyes at her.
I'm not.
Goo-goo eyes?
kind of is.
Just tell us, Helly.
What?
Just tell us about him.
Who?
The night gardener. Did he have a flashlight? What was he wearing?
What is your deal right now?
What color was his shirt?
That's enough.
Enough?
Yeah.
Using your pupils to make love to her.
That's a way of putting it.
While your outie's wife rots away somewhere.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah, you, Irv.
So it's 3 against 1 now.
Yeah, but you don't talk about Gemma like that.
We all know Irving's upset because he can't ever see Britt again.
Oh, that was a low blow back.
He's really lonely.
Yeah, and he can't have love. Whereas they're sparking something.
Hey, Irv.
You all.
Oh. Melting like the brother.
Probably, carrot.
What? Carrot.
Deer's penis.
Some other root vegetable.
Just gonna go in there?
That was mean of me
Was a
to
bit.
say that to Irving.
But he was being mean.
You kinda deserved it. I can make goo-goo eyes at anyone I want.
But you won't want to. Only Helly. And Gemma.
Are you okay?
Sorry if I'm distracting you from
what?
Finding Gemma.
from looking for your wife.
Hey, it's okay. I know we'll find her. And you've already helped so much.
I have.
Yeah.
I thought they'd kiss, but I didn't know they'd be going this far. Imagine that happens and then she gets pregnant or something. Whose is it? Well. Oh, that transition was good.
Mr. Milchick!
I just realised that let's hope this isn't some kind of weird dream or anything. Because if so, they know all of this going on. Let's also hope that they don't turn into some weird melted mess.
Mr. Milchick!
Juxtaposition to them being in the warm, all loved up, and then him being alone and cold out there. And his fire going out at the same time as them doing it as well.
Didn't like who I was on the outside. I was ashamed.
Wait until he finds out.
Who are you?
Helen Egan.
I don't care who you are out there. I care who you are with me.
I think you will. What?
Are you okay? What happened?
Wait, because wasn't he meant to be reintegrated? Completely forgot at the end of the last episode. But now it looks like the forest is... I thought earlier that the forest looks broken down now. Is that the office? The desks? What the hell? Oh, he's dreaming. Oh, moths. Oh, I'm very nervous. Oh, that's so creepy. Turning this down, because I'm creeped out. It's the lady! It's the lady! Oh no. Oh, I don't like this. That's the half lady. Oh. Don't look at me, please. You're meant to look for different emotions, like being scared. What's this? Does it say Egan? Oh! It said Egan as one of the words, I'm sure it did. Or she now figured out it's Helena.
Ellie?
Irv never came back last night. He's not in his tent.
Mr. Milchick!
Ellie and Irv are missing.
Just like the story.
Hey, kid.
Irving.
Oh,
What are you doing?
this is so creepy. Finding your
What are
ancestry.
you doing down here?
I slept outside. I almost froze to death. What you said to me last night? It was cruel. Ellie was never cruel.
I'm right here.
See, this is what I said, didn't I? About I reckon that this was her outie all along.
So if you're not her, then who are you?
Was I right? Was she Helena Egan
Power
all
to
along?
send their outie to the severed floor.
I'm sorry.
Is it her? Is it Helena all along? I said it ages ago that it was because the lift never made a noise, and there's been so many instances in between that I thought, oh, this is definitely Helena.
Turn her back, Mr. Milchick! She's an outie! She's been an outie the whole time! And she came back! Irving! Stop! No! Stop it! Irving, he's a f***ing mole!
No, don't kill her, don't kill her. I don't think he will, because he's too nice.
Egan! Stop doing! Yes, do it, Seth!
Yep. Wait, is he able to...
Remove the Glasgow block now.
Right, so there's a block that they can activate.
So sorry, Ellie.
Irving B., stand! You have threatened collegial murder in the pond of Woes Hollow. For this, there can be no penalty but immediate and permanent dismissal. There shall be no formal valediction. Your outie will be notified forthwith.
Irv! I'm sorry! I should have listened!
It's all okay. Just remember, hang in there.
You are no longer authorized. Turn around!
Don't do anything stupid, Dylan. Oh, why do I feel like he's going to try and jump or something?
Leave him alone!
walk into the forest.
That's smart, because he knows he's got one better than him. So how long have they been putting that block on her then? For some moments or the entire time?
Your file will be purged and destroyed.
No, because
it will be as if you never even existed nor drew a single breath upon this earth.
What? Completely?
May Kyr's mercy follow you into the eternal dark.
What, they're gonna kill him?
Now.
Or just his innie? I have so many questions. I'm so sorry. I knew that like they probably wouldn't last until the end of my thoughts, because I wanted to get them out when I was thinking them. But so presumably by the end of it, they're saying about they're going to get rid of Bert's innie. But the way they worded it sounded like they were getting rid of him entirely. But I suppose to his innie, that is him. He's been wiped off the face of the earth because his innie will be just gone forever. But maybe they could have done something like Gemma, get rid of her entirely, because I'm still sure that they are the ones that got rid of her on the outside world. So many things were happening in that. The heli thing, the lift thing had happened in the earlier episode. I said the lift never dinged for her. And I kept contemplating, is she her outie self going onto the severed floor? But then there were so many points that I thought, oh, maybe it's not, because there was a point in episode 1, I think it was. She says something to Mark in the hallway, and she says, we're never like them, or something, and it was quite spiteful or bitter.
We're not the same, actually. Us and the outies, we're not. And speaking for myself, I don't think we owe them shit.
Is that a little hint to say that it is actually the outie masking herself as pretending she's the innie? But then in episode 2, I know that was kind of confirmed by, she was watching the tapes, saw Mark and Helly kiss, and there was a look she had on her face and she rewound it. And I thought it was, maybe she was going to try and mimic the love that they had between each other and try to go, take that in as part of the personality of Helly that she was going to mimic. But I also now realised from this episode, I think it was that maybe she didn't feel loved in real life as an outie, and so when she was masking herself as the innie, she allowed herself the love of Mark to counteract not having it on the outside, because she was lonely just doing this job work for the family. Does that all make sense? I think it does. So I was so torn. There were so many times that they were saying things that I thought, this is Helly, this is innie Helly. But for the majority of the time, I was going, no, this is Helena. This is Helena. And it kept fooling you into thinking that it was the other one. This is going to be very jumbled, but I'm hoping you're getting my thoughts with this. This show has done me completely in this episode. I'm so glad that I had the gap between episodes 1 and 2 and then these two, because it's kind of, it feels right to have had that gap there. And again, the tone has been so much different to the first 2 episodes as well. So I'm loving how weird and wonderful and absolutely confusing but mysterious it is. But it all makes sense at the same time. Like, it's weird, but I know where it's meant to be going. For the most part. Dylan, bless him, is like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Yeah, I thought the screen in his dream had said Egan, certain letters for Egan, and I thought, oh, is that what it says? I thought for a second as well, I thought that the half lady was Patricia Arquette for a second. I don't think it is, but I've also just found out that the lady who plays Woe, as in the tempered Woe, the witch type lady, is not Patricia Arquette, and it's not Britt Lauer. It's Faith Vaughn. Also, considering I'm letting you know who plays Woe, I wanted to let you know who plays what's known as the Shadow versions. I did not know that they were called like Shadow Mark, Shadow Helly, etc. So Shadow Mark is played by Adam Jepson, Shadow Helly is played by Michelle Petronelli, Shadow Irving is played by Matthew LaBanca, and Shadow Dylan is played by Quentin Avery Brown. By the way, a quick additional note about the dream sequence, and I'd noticed this when I was watching it, but I just didn't make any mention of it because I was so infused into that scene itself. There's moments when he's looking at the screen and you will hear certain sound effects that are reversed, meant to give you that sense of unease because something isn't right, and obviously it's a dream sequence. And they do that quite a lot in media when they have dream sequences or things are really odd. And I love it. And you also then hear it again mainly when we see, what was she, the tempered woe? But when she is on screen. And it reminds me so much of the other dream sequence we saw of Irving when he was in the office. And do you remember I said, I was going, that's so weird. They're talking backwards. Like, you can only just about hear it if you listen really carefully. And I did highlight it in the edit when I did that episode. That was back in season 1, I think it was.
It's a freshman flu.
His voice is going in reverse. As somewhat of an editor outside this channel and on the channel as well, I just found it fascinating, so I wanted to let you know. Anyway, back to the video. Thought it was going to be a jump scare. I thought we were going to get her. I know she did come to the side of him at one point, but I thought we were going to see her from through the screens, and then suddenly she was going to be really close. I thought they were going to give us a jump scare, so really unnerving, but so beautifully done. I can't fault these episodes because the writing is just top notch. The cinematography, the filmmaking itself, this show feels like Black Mirror and The Twilight Zone had a baby and gave Severance to us. That's what it feels like, because it's very much those two. I love how there was this emphasis on that story they were being read as well, because I was trying to think, whilst they were saying all the words, I was thinking, is this meant to reference anything else that's happening at the moment? Is this meant to be, are we meant to be piecing this together? Or is this meant to just be random words that are being said to make it sound like it's smart, and it's just a whole big bunch of words strung together, like the Ricken book? The Ricken book is meant to sound important, but for the most part, a lot of the wording that's used is just utterly meaningless. It sounds like it means something profound, but yet they're just regular words strung together to make it sound that way. Truly, this was one of the best episodes, I think, of season 2 so far. It also made me wonder if they really were in that world or not. Kind of made me think that it wasn't, because there were so many odd things happening, like, for instance, the TV not having, I know that's a random thing, but the TV didn't have any kind of power source. For that kind of TV, it needs a power source, do you know what I mean? There's no generator there. There's just one thing, and it's meant to be these weird, absurd things happening that make you think, what the heck is going on? And then the clone people that didn't look like them, they looked like renderings of them that were rendered very low quality. Physically, how would these things happen? Because this is supposed to be the real world. But again, it's this company. They could just be holograms set up by the company. They were really creepy though as well, because you'd get the static shots and it was almost like something from a horror film. Oh, I didn't know the editor is actually an executive producer on this specific episode anyway. I don't know whether he is for the others. Jeffrey Richmond. Shadow Mark is actually played by Adam Jepson, and apparently, do you remember in the first episode back, he's looking at the Severance room where Gemma used to be. He's looking at the wellness room where Gemma used to be, and the camera moves around him, and in the hallway behind, we see someone who then walks off. And I went, that's really creepy. It looks like Mark. And I was thinking, how would that work? Because it can't have been him, because he's already his innie self at that point, and he wouldn't have been his outie self. So who the hell was that behind? It's Shadow Mark, apparently, because he's also known, Adam Jepson is also known not only as Shadow Mark, but as Man in Hallway, according to the information surrounding him with Severance. So he is that person that we saw. So that was meant to be the same Mark that we saw in this standing there pointing is meant to be the same person that's meant to be hit behind him in the hallway in episode 1. It's so creepy and weird, but I love it. What did you guys think? I didn't think they were going to get rid of John Turturro's character though, or at least from the innie perspective at the moment. I don't know if he's actually gone for good. I hope not, but that means that they just killed off the character. Like I was in two minds, because I was thinking, no, don't kill him. Will he come back? Because like Gemma is supposed to be dead, but we know that she's not really dead. Is it just like what happened with Bert, where his innie's now gone, but his outie stays? As in the episodes he stays. So are we still going to see outie Irving, or are we not anymore? Is that it? Is he done? By the way, in a minute we're going to check out the podcast review of this episode. Interesting story they read, by the way, about the guy melting from doing certain things. I don't know if that's meant to be a book on don't give in to your desires, which is funny that then quite literally the next scene we see Helly and Mark going at it. They didn't start melting. What are your thoughts? Let me know. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts as we go through. Hello guys, hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having a lovely day. Yeah, hopefully the phone will stay there this time. Seems like it may do. So as of now, if you're not aware, I know on the previous episode, I think I may have said that I hadn't seen the finale 2 episodes yet, like the penultimate and the finale. But I now have, as of this. I saw them a few days ago, and I've got thoughts on those that will come, obviously, in the later videos. Great episodes, but I've got thoughts on it, as I would do. So on this one, they're actually joined by the composer Theodore Shapiro, who, of course, has done incredible work on this show. The theme tune, all of the big hitting themes of like them walking down corridors. One of my favorite pieces that he's done has been the ambient piece of music that was for the wellness scenes. It's very, very good. But yeah, he joins them on this podcast episode, and he gives some amazing insights into the themes that he did create. It occurred to me, I was blocking half my face, by the way, with the sun visor. Something that they made mention they did, and I remember when this happened, I didn't have a chance to check it out at the time because I was really busy. And it was the glass event they did, where they were inside, I think it was a glass room, like a glass cube or something. They pretended like they were in the office, and they had Milchick and Cobell. This is sort of from the rough idea that they mentioned in the podcast episode. I remember seeing something about it. Yeah, apparently it was a 3-hour event.
I'm still buzzing from the experience of the Grand Central Station Severance pop-up that happened when we're recording this yesterday.
That was just so much fun.
It was incredible.
It really felt like we were taking a step back and bringing things down to sort of a basic performance level, and it was like a happening.
It was like a happening, yeah, like a Fluxus sort of thing, if you know about that history of experimental performance art. The idea was to have a cube in the middle of Grand Central Station that had the cubicle with you guys sitting there.
Yep.
Doing your Severance stuff. Yeah. And you guys, originally, it was a great idea that Apple had.
Yeah.
And originally it was just going to be actors that they hired to kind of like look like office workers at the cubicle. And then you said, we should do it. The actors should really do it.
Yeah.
You said, I'll do that.
Yeah. And I just figured the cast would be game, and lo and behold, everybody was super into it.
It was incredible. It was incredible. And you guys just went in there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you refined.
Yeah.
And you interacted.
I vacuumed the floor.
Well, you did that, the little roller thing,
right.
Which you do in episode 2, I think.
Not a real vacuum.
1.
And I'm not convinced it does anything but just move dust particles around.
Then Ms. Cobell came in.
Oh, man.
And you got in trouble with her at one point.
Many times.
She got upset. She threw a coffee cup. I was talking to my wife and daughter on the outside when the coffee cup got thrown, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? What just happened?
Patricia.
It was amazing, though, because nobody could hear you guys on the inside, and people were literally enthralled. It was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
When Milchick came in with the red ball, I don't even know what he was doing with the red ball, but he didn't look happy.
No.
And at a certain point, Patricia got under the desk.
Yeah.
What was going on there?
Well, a couple of the monitors went out, and so Patricia took it upon herself to try and fix them. And then once she started fiddling with the plugs, all of the monitors went out.
That's so Patricia. It really is. That's
But yeah, when Trammell walked out, because you had to kind of walk through the crowd to get to the cube, the whole place got really quiet.
Yeah, and then like there were cheers too. I think when he came back the second time, and when Patricia came in, it was so great. It was just, people discovered it, nobody announced it, and it was just we just walked in, and there was no announcement or anything, and people just sort of started stumbling upon it and being like, wait a second, those are the actors from the show, and we just improvised for 3 hours. But there was a certain freedom to it because no one could hear us. Yeah.
So we could just do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And we kind of decided that it fell somewhere around season 1, episode 3. Just the culture of MDR felt like it fell somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I could not have been more excited or happy watching it, and it was so much fun.
It was a blast.
And it was fun to also talk. For me, on the outside, I was like taking pictures. I got to talk to fans of the show. It wasn't just people who were, going home from work. There were people who saw it on Reddit or on social media and came down who were fans of the show.
They made the trip.
Yeah, well, they saw it. It came up on their feed,
so cool.
and they ran over, and it was great. I talked to people from Brazil. I talked to people from Ireland, from England. It was just great to talk to fans of the show and see how excited they were about the second season. And you don't get a chance really to interact. I guess when you guys went down to Brazil for the Comic-Con down there, you got a chance to meet people.
We did, and people are so excited for season 2, which is really flattering and so much fun. But this had its own sort of organic feeling to it because, like you said, there was no announcement. It was just something. And I'm glad we did it for a few hours because people, like you said, were able to kind of make the trip, and we were still there by the time they got there.
Yeah, we wanted it to go on for long enough that people could discover it, and you guys would still be there. And you guys were troopers and amazing and so much fun.
One thing I didn't know, and I wondered this at the very beginning when they were doing certain shots, and I'd also thought the same thing when they did season 2's opener as well, and it turns out they did do that at least for season 2's opener, but apparently they had music pieces on set. The first bit when he's running down the corridor, but I just presumed that was because of that scene, not just for other scenes in general, but to get an idea of what they were shooting and the kind of feeling that scene was meant to evoke. They actually had music on set. They apparently had sketches of the music themes as well to help give a better idea.
Any movie we've worked on together, it makes me want to be in this world, to live in this world that the music creates, that, inspires me visually and just, in terms of the tone of the piece. And so we were really lucky that you were willing to write this music ahead of time when we started shooting season 1, so that when we were shooting and on set, we could actually play it during some scenes. Yeah. And when we were trying to find the tone of the show, and so we'd play it, in MDR or something, and it would just sort of change
walking
the whole
down
feeling.
The hallways and stuff. You would play it. It did really help.
Yeah, there's so much music in the show. There's so much music in this show.
Yeah, and I agree. It's so integral to the show and the feeling in the show, and I actually feel like your music has saved me on a number of occasions in scenes. Yeah, I remember having some pieces that you had written on set from the very beginning when we started shooting season 1. You had some kind of sketches of themes for us to play on set, and it was really important to have that.
Well, a fascinating piece of information, by the way. Apparently Theodore Shapiro had written pieces of music, and I think he wrote a bunch of themes is what he said, and I'll play you the clip in a second, but themes, as in like the theme tune itself. He wrote a bunch of themes, and then he took them to Ben Stiller, who got hung up on liking one specific section. Anyway, it was that specific section that Theodore went away. From what I remember him saying, and again, I'll have to play it for you, but from what I remember him saying, he took that one specific section and made the theme from that one little piece, which I know it's trial and error. That's such a waste of time, because bear in mind, he doesn't just, throw together some themes or like a theme and just go, oh, there you go, just try and give it to you, see what you think to this. He would have taken time and energy and hours, a heck of a lot of work.
When we had this delay due to COVID, I think that was around the time you were able to write a lot of music.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think that we found our main theme during the COVID break. I have this kind of fond memory during the summer of COVID in 2020. We had just discovered the main theme. And I was up in Oregon, and drove to Oregon.
Can I just interrupt you? When you say we had just discovered the main theme, what that means is Teddy wrote the main theme. Actually wrote 3 different, didn't you send me 3 different options?
Wow.
Well, I had started writing a bunch of themes and sending them to you, and you were excited about what I was coming up with. And then in February of 2020, I flew to New York and we met up at the set, and you were listening to the music, And there was just like this one little part that you kept coming back to. And it was just like, it was the B section of something that I'd written. It wasn't like the main part of it, but you kept coming back to that thing. And I was like, oh, first of all, always follow Ben's instincts. That's like the cardinal rule. And like, there's something that Ben is responding to here. And in that thing that we were listening to, it was kind of like an electronic piece. And then when I got back to LA, like I went home and I sat down at the piano and I played the 4 chords from that B section at the piano. And it was like, oh, what if it was this?
So wait, when you say it was an electronic piece, do you mean it was, what do you mean? Like it was like that same melody, but...
It wasn't the melody, it was just like the 4 chords, but all of the sounds were like more overtly electronic.
Okay.
But when I played it at the piano, suddenly like the tone of it changed completely and it became more of this mystery.
One of the things I thought that was interesting, Theodore Shapiro had said that apparently innie and outie themes were going to sound different because innie sounds were going to sound electronic and outie sounds were going to sound organic.
We had been talking about like, what if there's one sound for the innies and one sound for the outies, and like the innie world is electronic and the outie world is organic, and you know, but when I played that thing, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what if the whole show is just like a puzzle? Like this would be the music if the whole show was just one kind of puzzle.
Yeah.
So I sent that off to Ben and I was pretty excited about it and did not hear back from Ben for like 3 weeks. I sort of thought that I was onto something. And then like one day, like the phone rang and he was like, oh, I love this thing. Like, this is great. I'm really into this.
Do you know what I think I really love as well? It's something that I often see it, but I feel like I never used to see it a lot. And these days I feel like there are a fair few filmmakers that really do love working with the composer. Ben not only loves working with Teddy, with Theodore Shapiro, but he also values his thoughts that much that he'll also come to him with, like, they'll work together, like intertwine their thoughts together. Hence why, you know, there'll be music on the set and then Ben will come to him with thoughts and ideas and say, I want to do this. What do you think? And he'll give his input and then say, well, you could, you know, use this piece of music. This episode specifically, apparently they had such a conversation of, you know, the music that would be used and the little through lines of other themes that would be not necessarily hidden within the themes that are used in this episode, but it's almost inspired by those other themes. And this is one of those episodes that to me is just beautifully done because it is so abstract in comparison to the rest of the season. The weirdness in this episode, by the way, it really hones that Twilight Zone feeling, this episode. Because of the other people, the other ones of them, which I have now seen the rest of the season, by the way, and I have to say, they don't really explain it. And also, this was one of the main episodes that they worked on music-wise. And when I say that, I mean before the show had even started filming the season 2, just so they could get a head start on it all, which is crazy to think because this is episode 4. I know that they don't film episode per episode. They film like bunches of stuff. Like if there's all stuff at Devon's house, they'll film all the stuff with Devon's house, majority of stuff like together.
Obviously, the story is in a whole new environment, and that required you to come up with a new theme, just a completely new theme. And I think you did that ahead of time too, the same way you did it for season 1, but for this specific episode, right?
Well, I mean, that was one of the first things that you ever told me about season 2 was about this episode. And so I feel like from the time that I started writing themes for season 2, I was really focused on this episode in particular and finding sounds. But truthfully, like Ben, I should say that the thing with 204 was that this was the episode where I feel like we worked the hardest to find the tone of anything in both seasons. And a lot of those things that I did in advance ended up being part of the episode.
Oh, in this podcast episode, I'll try and play you a tiny clip of it, but obviously I don't know how much will get copyright claimed. That they play the theme, not they don't play the TV version of it, but they play the actual audio track of the music that was played on the TV, where we see Milchick.
We wanted it to be surreal and eerie and weird. Actually, you know what? Why don't we take a listen to the Milchick video music that you wrote?
Oh yeah, like the retro.
Yeah.
They also make mention that theme that plays on the TV in the background of Milchick is actually the Muzak version of the Keir hymn that Cobell sings in season 1.
That is actually the theme that you wrote.
Yeah,
that Patricia sings in season 1.
That's right. Exactly, the Keir hymn.
The Keir hymn from season 1.
But the Muzak version.
Yeah.
And I remember, Ben, you just kept saying, like, can you make it here?
That's exactly right. You kept on coming back. I was like, this has to sound more like really bad Muzak.
Yeah.
And,
it sounds like almost like a grade below Muzak you would actually hear.
It is a grade below Muzak. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's some guy quickly doing something for this video.
Also, the theme that ended up being used in the episode, I don't know if they mean the theme in the TV. I'll have to play the clip, but I don't think it's the theme in the TV, but they're on about the theme that's used throughout the episode, the main running theme, was then also the piece of music that they play, I think it's Miss Wong, then plays on the theremin.
Yes, well, that was a real breakthrough. I mean, you know, it's interesting because, like, I remember I sent you 2 versions of Miss Wong's theremin music. And one was just kind of like spooky theremin sounds, like not really a tune. And then the other one was this tune that was sort of like a cousin to the Keir hymns. You were like, that's what we want to move towards. Like you had your finger on it. And
yeah, that's our collaboration. Teddy writes something brilliant and I go, that's great.
So wait a second. So the theremin music that Sarah Bach is playing, that Miss Wong is playing, is that same Keir hymn? Because I didn't even recognize it as.
No. It's not. But what it unlocked for me was, oh yeah, there's this whole body of Keir music. It's like Keir folk tunes.
Right.
And when I wrote that and Ben responded to it, I was like, oh, right. There's a world of Keir folk music.
Like it sits next to the Keir hymn.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Also, because Theodore Shapiro didn't have a theremin and didn't know how to play a theremin, when he wrote the piece of music, he actually used an Ant Martino instrument, I think that's how you pronounce it. He used that instrument to write the piece instead, with it being a completely different instrument to what was actually then played, which is fantastic.
Had you played a theremin before? Have you had a lot of experience with one?
So I'm going to admit that, no, I don't play a theremin, but I have this instrument called an Ant Martino. It's like an early electronic instrument that sounds like a theremin. Huh. And I'm not very good at playing it. It's a little harder than it looks to do it well.
Is it a keyboard instrument? Or?
So it's a keyboard instrument, but it has this wire that you kind of slide from right to left along the keyboard. And so like if you slide it up to a C, then it'll play a C. With your left hand, you press one button that says how loud or soft it is. And then with your right hand, you do the pitch with this, your fingers in a little ring, and you move it up and down, and that determines the pitch.
Sounds super easy.
Sounds like you're making it up as you go along, actually.
Yeah. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a theremin, essentially.
It sounds like a theremin. So, and because I'm not that good at it, it seemed like it would work for Miss Wong on the theremin.
Right.
So that's how I did.
I mean, the theremin is a fascinating instrument.
Yeah.
And, we could talk for hours about what a theremin
Basically
is.
using the force to make music.
I don't even understand how it works. When you watch Miss Wong play it in the episode, she's doing it, right? What is she doing?
So a theremin is like the only instrument where you don't physically touch anything.
Right.
You're using your hand to block, I think, a wave. and that is creating the sound.
She learned to play the theremin just for that episode specifically. She learned to play the musical instrument from scratch. Probably one of the most difficult things to learn, the theremin.
Sarah Bach learned how to play the theremin for the episode.
Yeah, you can tell she knows what she's doing. It looks perfect.
Incredible.
I mean, I was convinced.
Yeah, this young woman is she's such a good actress and so smart and so committed, and she went and learned how to play it.
Apparently the same piece of music is then scored to get weirder and creepier as the scene of the story unfolds when Milchick's reading it. And by the way, that is one of the creepiest moments in the episode. This episode.
I think the more interesting scenes in the episode, and you then, I remember, scored as Milchick's tale gets darker and weirder, you went on to score it with the theremin to get even weirder and stranger as it gets,
Exactly.
Yeah.
The nightmare that Irving has. That was horrific. And like we see the lady, they give her a name, but we see that lady, which I thought for a split second was either Cobell or Helly. And it turns out there is a split second in there. I don't know when or where, but there's apparently a split second in there where they have a flash to her face.
Temper Woe shows up, and maybe for a second, I think you might see an image of, like, just the slightest image of Helly in her face.
That fog you see in the nightmare scene is real. They didn't do any extra smoke machines or any extra digital smoke effects or anything. Apparently they had to switch around days. There was a really sunny day that they had planned, and then it turned, what happened is they were going to shoot, I think it was one of the scenes on the cliff. It got really foggy and awful weather, and so they decided, right, okay, so quick, let's switch this up. Let's go and film the scene with Irving's character. Let's get this done and in the bag whilst the weather is exactly like we wanted it to be for that specific scene.
The other big centerpiece of the episode is Irving's dream.
Yeah.
The cliff where we find you in the beginning and where you have the scene with Milchick, and then you see the shadow off on the cliff, the sort of faceless version of you. That was at a place called Sam's Point, and in this Peterskill area, which was a little bit away from Lake Minnewaska. This is the Shawangunk Mountains. Beautiful, beautiful
really,
place.
Really gorgeous.
And we had to shoot that dream sequence. Basically, we had to switch our schedule around because one morning we came into work and it was really foggy and snow had fallen, and it was so foggy that if we had shot that scene of you guys on the cliff with the TV, you wouldn't have seen any of that vista.
Right.
So Jessica, our cinematographer, made the call to say, like, let's go shoot the dream. And so we went over to this sort of burned out forest area that was at altitude that was near that cliff. And it was foggy and eerie.
Yeah.
And what you see when Irving walks to the, the cubicle in the middle, we brought the cubicle out to the middle of this charred out forest.
Yeah.
And that's not a set, that's not visual effects, that's all real fog.
That was extraordinary because I wasn't there, but you told me about it when you guys got back, and looking at the dailies, it looks like it was designed, and it looks like special effect. Like, you never could have asked for better fog placement, for better colors. I mean, it is beautiful, and it was all naturally occurring there.
Yeah, we were so lucky. We were just so lucky with the elements and the ability that we had as a crew to kind of change our plan and just go do that.
Yeah.
Made all the difference.
And apparently, when they filmed this, which is horrific, they filmed in the elements for 5 weeks.
We were out there in the elements for 5 weeks?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, we talked about how we were going to make this episode. We're not the kind of show that does that kind of visual effects
Not
stuff where we do something, with green screen or something like that. So we knew we wanted to go to a real location. At first, we started thinking about, we knew snow was really important.
Yeah.
And of course, in our world with climate change and, finding snow is a really hard thing to do, even in the winter.
You can't depend on any location at any particular point in the year.
Right. And we're based in New York with the production, and it's hard to go very far away We talked at one point about going to Colorado going to Canada, and we realized that wasn't really feasible for us. But the Catskills were, close by. We shoot a lot of our exteriors in upstate New York in a town called Kingston.
Yep.
And this was a little bit further west and out there more, but we have a great location manager named Ryan Smith.
Yeah.
And Ryan went out and started searching around, and we found this. The biggest centerpiece for the episode is the waterfall.
Yes.
So finding this waterfall was sort of the key. And Ryan found a Wasting Falls, which is near Lake Minnewaska, and Lake Minnewaska was where that lake is.
But that was the other part of it too, is the frozen lake, the cliff above it. I mean,
yeah. Well, this was also it was written originally that you guys were in a clearing.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden they hear you, and they're you kind of come out of the woods or something.
Right.
And we thought, this is something we could really find something that's a little bit more dramatic. And we found this lake that has this cliff over it.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if Mark is standing up on top of the cliff and Irving is in the middle of the lake?
Yeah, which I was really up on that cliff. He was out in the middle of the frozen lake, and we were actually screaming to each other.
Yeah. That was fun to do. Look, the whole episode was so dependent on weather, too.
Yeah.
We got so lucky.
I remember it was touch and go for a while, and then right before our shooting dates, right before moving up there was a big storm. Am I right?
Yes. There was a storm that, for the 4 weeks that we were shooting, basically we needed snow, and a storm happened, and it only happened at the altitude. The snow was at the altitude that we were shooting at.
Wow.
But everybody kind of moved up to the Catskills for a while.
I thought this was fascinating. Apparently, the actors had to drive for a while just to get to the base of the mountain where they were trying to film. And then they had to get from there onto a snowcat to go up to the shooting location and to the camp itself. And then, that wasn't where they filmed. They then had to hike. Bear in mind, they had to do this every time they did it as well. They then had to hike from there for 30 to 45 minutes to get to the places like the cave. And not only was it them just walking up, it's kind of like when I watched Enchanted April, and I made mention of the equipment having to be lugged up there. But similar on this, the crew had to carry heavy cameras up there.
I mean, it was a huge production in terms of having to get up to where the campsite was, you had to take these snowcats or, other kind of vehicles to get up there, especially when the weather hit.
Oh yeah. I mean, just for the actors to get to set. And this means that everything else was 18 times more difficult. Just for the actors, we would drive from where we were staying for a while and then arrive at the base of the mountain, get out of the car and get onto a snowcat because there were no actual roads going up to where we were shooting, ride in the snowcat up to the top of the mountain where we had our base camp, which was just a series of tents with heaters in them. And that is where we were all day, and we would go venture off and shoot from there, sometimes needing to hike for 45 minutes or something to get to where we were shooting.
The cave.
Yeah.
Scissor Cave was a real hike.
Yeah.
There was no way to reach that little cave except to hike at least, it was about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But our camera crew had to literally carry those heavy cameras and camera cases. It was an ordeal.
Yes.
It was an ordeal. And the weather was constantly changing when we were filming the episode too.
Also, crazy thing, right? The water, when Helly gets her head dunks down, Britt Lauer had to do that for real ice cold water they dunked her head into, but it was made up in a different way. So the close-up, so it was her real head underwater in ice cold water in, I believe, the real location that they did it in. But then when it came to the close-ups, they did a reshoot in studio with a mini tank.
You guys are up on a cliff. He had to attempt to drown Britt in this icy cold water.
So cold.
There were so many aspects to shooting this scene to put it all together. But really, it's one of my favorite Irving John Turturro moments in the series.
It's beautiful. And do you want to talk about the close-up of Helly being dunked in the water, being shot later at our stages up on a platform?
We had to create a tank, a little mini tank that we could put the camera under and have a camera person, a scuba diving camera person underneath, so that they could see the close-up on Britt's face when she transitions and Sever transitions.
Hey guys, hope you're doing okay. I noticed something while I was editing. It was a moment that I missed whilst reacting to it, and I kind of wanted to make mention of this because I felt like it was very important to something that happens in a few episodes' time. So, and I can't tell you specifically what happens, but all I will say, I think it makes sense for Helly and Irving to have this little spat and for her to give him this knowing look. At this point in time, I thought, okay, maybe this is a low blow that she's doing. But in actual fact, if you fast forward a couple of episodes, there is more of, because of what happened in the tent in this episode, I think is her way of not being lonely anymore. And that has a knock-on effect. The reason I say that is because my initial thoughts were, when I thought she was an outie, and I've already stated this in previous episodes, my initial thoughts were maybe she wanted to get in there and become that way with Mark, because she kept looking longingly at the screen when they were on security cameras, and I wondered if maybe this was their way of portraying Helena as almost feeling like she's missed out on a relationship. She's lonely, she follows what Lumon wants all the time and is never able to live her own life, so she wants some kind of relationship, maybe a way of getting back at Helly, her inner self, by, being with the person that she loves. That's kind of where I was coming from with the initial thing. But if you watch their conversation very carefully and the looks, it's that I swear, and I'm going to try my best to keep it in the edit as much as I can. Obviously, copyright, got to be really careful. But I think she is trying to give him the look to say, I know you know, please don't spoil this. There's just a look there. It's a look as if he's hesitating as to whether or not to say anything. He wants to say something, but she is almost begging him without saying anything so that she can, continue doing what she's doing. There was those underlying little looks to each other, which almost gave different context to what we were seeing on the surface. Like there were little looks as if to say, I know what you're thinking. And it's also one of the things that probably confirms it to Irving that she is the outie, as well as obviously everything that happens in the dream, etc. Obviously, I can't play the scene unedited. Pay attention to that scene. Pay attention to the way they are with each other.
He's really lonely.
But back to what I was saying. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed my reaction to this. Such a weird and wacky episode. I need to have answers. I need to know what is going on. It's still left so much mystery to it, which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. I love it. I'm eager. Not eager, I'm eager. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an incredible day. If you'd love to see the full uncut reaction to this, you can see it over on the Patreon page or as a YouTube member as well. But that is all for today. Feel free to subscribe and like the video as well. Lets me know, and it lets YouTube know as well, that you do in fact like this kind of thing, and you'll see more of it. You'll see when I finally do my Twilight Zone videos as well. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and hopefully I get to see you guys next time. Bye bye.
In trying moments, always remember Lumon's beloved signature adage. Think positive. Never underestimate the resilience of the human mind. After all, we must be cut to heal.
Lumon is listening.
If you're still here to the very end, then thank you so much, and also a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons. Roger C. Griffith, Douglas Collier, Terry V, Miggy Love, Chris Holmes, Jojo, Thomas Masters, Shoehorn1234, Res, Patrick Durr, Andrew Blount, Carlos, Marla Mize, Rob, Chandra Blair, Scott, Paul Zawicki, Randy, Kirsten, Juan Pablo Camero, JL, Maggie, Freya Alexandra, Milo, Miranda, Edna, Gina Aman, Tess Avaland, Olivia, Maria Stoicheva, Neno, Megan Janoviak, Rainy Tomo, Strawberry Tree, Kirsten Bailey, Boobly Boo, Louise Vanderhoven, Aubrey Terry, Wraithist, Heidi Steele, City D, Bumblebee, Joshua, Jesse, Rena Burrow, Meet, Lolita Verbakovskia, Eli, Holly Jeffries, Alenka Hafner, HM Garth, Chloe Grover, Neb, Kyle Baker, Abby Barker, Tom Tattershaw, Kristen Olds, Tidichum, Laura Hutchison, Tara M. Wilcoxon, Sazzy Nation, Ferdinand Pitchard, Jim McKay, Sphere, Mel Days, Fran in the Pen, BG, Tara, Rags and Muffins, Nameless Human Being, Deb, Philippa Chapman, Emily, Panda, David Wayne Fox, Jessica Asakovich, Sue Pro, Naja in Workshop, Mike Tunnicliffe, Wolfgang Wolf, Lee, Harvey, Anka May, Aninya, Evan G, Violet Aurora, Pamela Chandler Rash, Scott Howard, Joshua, Robert Williams, Steve Webster, Amanda, Lipaz, Jamie Dodds, King, Happy Go Lucky, Caitlin, Analytical Guy, Maria Torres, Cliff Adams, Jonathan, Dirk, Annie Bonds, Crystal Appleby, Scorpius, Monica Murphy, Sebastian Saage, Varga, Leslie McKittrick, Nick Stark, Number 1 Carez, Jen, Biff McKeldin, Birgit, Stephanie Collins, Emily, Ken Duncan, Max, Helena Klitsch, Amy Quattlebaum, Ry Levi, Wayne DeFries, JJ, Mikhail Augustine Reed, Malcolm Hope, Lee Hallam, Bill Waite, Charlie Elkin, Mika Least, Jeffrey Welton, Aleidoscope, George, Ingrid, Stephanie Sexton, Jude, Bera, Robinio GD, Catherine Ellis, Vincent Pare, Sammy Fan, Eric Jansen, David K, Stephen, Edcat, MB8, Border Collie Lover 223, Caitlin, Juiced, The Gallifreyan Rebel, James, Johnny115, Tim, Paul Hess, Frank Tex, Marie Clark, Robin, Matt Quinn, Offer Rock, Bruce Heckerman, Joe, Victoria Helm, James Melton, Beatrice Soiler, Siegfried, Clara Groslouis, Lana Gorgeous, David Stafford, Rebecca K. McDowell, Ashley Stanley, Sophia, Fabian, Paul Byrne, Bear, Nadia, Chris Thompson, Erin Milieu, Kate Wheeler, Janet Rose Ashley, Alex, Tyler, Just a Little Tired, Shud Bruxelles, David Holton, Lisa Lovett, Liviu Oana, Francesca Carey, and Ketch Renner. If you'd like to see more videos, there's some more on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you next time.